Hi everyone, my name is Ainhoa and I'm an ad solution architect at Google working within the mobile apps team. I'm excited to be here today to talk about Google Analytics and showcase some of their main functionalities.
Listen, hi everybody. I'm Grant. I'm one of the apps and gaming specialists at Google. I've been working in digital for over 20 years now. I'm an experienced guide in a bevy of Google tech, including Firebase, Google Analytics, Google Ads, Tag Manager, and even Looker Studio. I've worked across a huge amount of industries, including gaming, fashion, e-commerce, and I've also had the chance of working in both data teams and in development teams as well. So I'm able to kind of bring perspectives from both sides of the coin. Looking forward to showing you some of the really cool things in Google Analytics and some of the really powerful features that can be game changers for you. And hopefully by the end, you'll be able to understand and feel some of the feel some of the reasons why Google Analytics is something that I really enjoy and is really transformational for so many people. So let's jump over and we're going to go straight into the run through about what we're going to be covering with the class today. We're going to start off just with the fundamentals, making sure you understand about the purpose of GA4, key features, how things are collected. We're then going to dive into some of the reporting and understand about how they're put together in order for you to be able to really understand and use them going forward. And then what we're going to do is get you started on those very first base level, making sure that you have your property set up in a good way so that you can start making the best of all the amazing features right from the beginning. So handing over to Ainhoa to take it from here, and I'll catch you at the end of the session.
The first part of this session will cover GA4 fundamentals and basic definitions. After that, Grant will showcase a live demo to provide a more practical perspective. Let's analyze the following definition of what analytic is. Analytics is the measurement, collection, analysis, and reporting of Internet data for the purposes of understanding and optimizing web and app usage. While this might be an older definition, it still provides us with a structured way of thinking. My favorite part of this definition is how it emphasizes the importance of measurement. And when talking about measurement, it is crucial to start by identifying the goals of our website or app in order to define what success looks like. So, what does analytics mean for you? What does success look for your business? Is there anything you would add to this definition? Some of the additions that Google Analytics would give us, for example, is the ability to merge data from online and offline environments. We will begin today by sharing this analytics framework that will help you make better data-driven decisions. And this includes the following components to explore: measurement, collection, analysis, reporting, and optimization. Measurement is the foundation of any successful analytics strategy. It involves three main steps: discovery and audit, analytics roadmap, and measurement plan. Discovery and audit involves understanding your organization's goals, identifying key metrics, and auditing your existing analytics setup so you can identify gaps and areas for improvement. Once you have a clear understanding of your goals and current analytics setup, it's time to create an analytics roadmap with the steps and milestones needed to achieve your measurement goal. A measurement plan defines the specific metrics, targets, data sources, or tracking requirements that align with your business goals. The next component is collection. In this phase, you will focus on the implementation and configuration of your analytics tool to gather accurate and relevant data. During this step, you will implement tracking codes and tags on your website and mobile apps to collect data across all touchpoints. And you will also set up your analytics platform, defining goals, events, and custom dimensions, including campaign tagging to measure marketing efforts accurately. Once you have collected the data, it's time to analyze it and get insights through segmentation, attribution, and exploring data. Segmentation allows you to divide your data into meaningful subsets so you can identify patterns, trends, and target specific audience segments more effectively. Attribution helps you understand which marketing channels or touchpoints contribute most to your conversion. This allows you to optimize your marketing efforts. Exploring data helps you identify opportunities for improvement and make data-driven decisions. Reporting is the process of presenting data and insights in a clear and meaningful way. The final component is optimization. In this phase, you will focus on continuous improvement and maximizing performance. You can do that, for example, with A/B testing experiments. This allows you to compare two or more versions of a web page, app, feature, or other elements to assess which performs better, or optimizing your website or app. In today's session, we will focus on the basics of Google Analytics platform. However, before we dive in, let's take a quick look at its history. In 2005, Google acquired Origin Software Corporation, a prominent web analytics company. Google then released Google Analytics Classic in 2007, which was the initial version of Google Analytics. In 2013, Universal Analytics was introduced, enhancing data collection and improving performance and accuracy. In 2020, Google released Google Analytics 4, a completely new platform designed for cross-platform measurement and machine learning lead analytics. With the launch of the next generation of Google Analytics, known as Google Analytics 4 or GA4 for short, Google Analytics brought some big improvements compared to the older versions, including powerful features and a fresh new look. G4 is more than just a simple update. It's an entirely new platform created to meet the needs of businesses today. G4 offers a comprehensive and flexible solution for measuring and analyzing data thanks to its advanced capabilities. Let's take a look at the GA4 main advantages. Collect and measure. The event-based data model combines web and app data, giving you a deeper understanding of user behavior and helping you make better data-driven decisions. GA4 gives you the ability to view all your data in one place, eliminating the need for separate data sources and simplifying data management across different platforms. Analyze for insights. GA4 incorporates machine learning, giving analysts access to powerful insights and data, and leverage new predictive metrics and capabilities to build richer audience segments. Integrate your data. You can expand your data collection in GA4 by incorporating additional datasets to gain a more comprehensive understanding of your users. Activate on insights. You can develop a comprehensive plan to activate your insights and target audiences using platform integrations, allowing you to reach users across platforms. With GA4, you have a powerful tool to collect, analyze, integrate, and activate your data and insights. By leveraging its capabilities, you can make more informed marketing decisions, reach your audience effectively, and drive success for your business. GA4 Properties are a cross-channel measurement platform that use the Google Analytics for Firebase SDK to power app data and the G-tag tagging for websites. So you can collect both web and app data and have a unified reporting. This means that users can use GA4 for a website, an app, or both web and app together. GA4 is special because it's the first version of Google Analytics built with artificial intelligence at its core. GA4 brings the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to your analytics toolkit. The features of GA4 enable you to better connect with your customers with advanced features such as predictive metrics, behavioral modeling, and data-driven attribution. GA4 allows you to create personalized experience and make informed marketing decisions to reach your customers more effectively. Taking advantage of the predictive capabilities in GA4 will help you improve your analytics strategy. This is the future of data analysis and customer engagement. Now, let's explore the structure of data collection in GA4. Google Analytics collects data from websites in a few simple steps. First, collection. As visitors interact with your website, Tracking hits are recorded using the GA tracking code. This can include actions like page views or button clicks. The tracking code is either directly added to the website code or implemented through a tool like Google Tag Manager. Then, processing. The recorded hits are sent to Google Analytics servers in real time. The servers process the data and organize it into dimensions and metrics that you see in the reports. You can configure settings in Google Analytics to control where the data goes, apply filters to exclude certain traffic, and manage user access. Finally, we have the reporting step. Once the data is processed and configured, it is ready for reporting. It's a good idea to have a different views for the customer data and exclude internal traffic for better analytics results. Google Analytics for Firebase collects data from mobile apps using the Firebase SDK in a similar manner. First, collection. As users interact with your app, events and user properties are automatically logged using the Firebase SDK. Events can include actions like app opens, button clicks, and in-app purchases, while user properties provide additional information about the users, such as demographics or preferences. Then, processing. The log events and user properties are processed by Firebase Analytics in real time. The data is then organized into dimensions and metrics, allowing you to gain insights into user behavior and engagement within your app. Firebase Analytics provides configuration options to customize the data collection process. You can define specific events and user properties to measure, set up conversion goals, and enable or disable certain features. This allows you to tailor the data collection to suit your app's specific needs. The processed data is available for reporting within the Firebase console and your GA4 property. You can access reports and dashboards that provide valuable insights into how users interact with your app. These insights help you make data-driven decisions to optimize your app's performance and user experience. And now, let's take a look at the GA4 account structure. In Analytics, the account is like the starting point that holds all your analytics properties. You can decide how to manage the relationship between accounts and properties in different ways. You can either have a simple setup where one account matches with one property, or you can have a more complex setup where one account is connected with multiple properties. A GA4 property represents either an app, a website, or both. For example, let's say you have a game app available on Google Play for Android and App Store for iOS, and you also have a website to promote the app. You can create a property that represents just the app or both the app and the website. When you use a property to represent an app, it should be focused on a single complete application, like a standalone game. This application can be available on different platforms, like Android or iOS. In GA4 properties, we use separate data streams to track the customer touchpoints to send data to the property. A data stream is a flow of data from a customer touchpoint, such as an app or a website, to analytics. Now let's discuss some basic user, session, and event definitions. What is an user? A user is a person who interacts with your website or app. Each person is considered a separate user in Google Analytics, even if they visit you multiple times. For example, if someone leaves your website and comes back later, then Google Analytics still considers that to be one user. Google Analytics identifies an individual user based on the reporting identity option you choose in your GA4 property and the user's browser or device settings. Users can be identified in three ways: a first-party user ID, a Google account login, which is Google Signals, or a device ID. What is a session? A session is the time from when a user enters in your website or app until they leave. For example, if someone visits your website, leaves, and then returns the next day. Those are two separate sessions. And finally, what is an event? An event is a distinct user interaction within a session that occurs within your website or app. For example, adding items to a shopping cart, leaving the store, making a purchase are all examples of events. You can mark these events that are the most important to your business as conversion events. Now, let's continue with an introduction to the GA4 reporting. First, let's discuss what are dimensions and metrics with the following analogy. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. In this analogy, the dimension and metrics are the building blocks of Google Analytics that help you segment, organize, and analyze your traffic data. Dimensions are attributes or characteristics of user behavior, interactions, or sessions. Metrics are quantitative values that provide specific data points related to user behavior, conversions, or business goals. In this analogy, the attributes or dimensions can represent specific characteristics of the fox and the dog. For example, the attributes could include the color of the fox, brown, the speed of the fox, quick, and the nature of the dog, lazy. Each attribute provides additional information of the dog and the fox types, allowing you to analyze and categorize it based on these characteristics. On the other side, a metric could represent a measurement related to the action. For example, the metric could be the amount of times that the fox jumps over the dog. The jump itself is the action or behavior being measured, and the metric quantifies or evaluates that action. Google Analytics for dimension and metrics appears in your reports, explorations, and in the audience and segment builders. Dimensions provide context to your data and allow you to segment group information. Examples of dimension in GA4 include event name, device type, traffic source, page view, session ID, among others. Dimensions help you understand the who, what, and where aspects of user interactions. Metrics are used to quantify and analyze the performance of your website or app. Examples of metrics in GA4 include event count, new users, engaged sessions, e-commerce quantity, etc. Metrics help you understand how much or how well aspects of user interaction. Here are some of the key dimensions in Google Analytics that provide valuable insights. Country, region, town, city. These dimensions inform you about the geographic location of your customers, helping you understand where they are located. Device category. This dimension reveals the type of device your customers are using to access your website or app. Platform. By analyzing this dimension, you can determine whether customers are accessing your content through your website or using your iOS or Android native apps. Age, gender. These dimensions provide demographic information about your customers, giving you insights into their age groups and genders. Channel, source, medium, campaign. These dimensions reveal how customers discover your website or app, providing insights into the specific channels, sources, mediums, and campaigns that drove traffic. Event name. This dimension tracks the specific interactions or actions performed by your customers, giving you an understanding of their engagement within your website or app. Page title, page path. These dimensions provide information about the pages visited by your customer, helping you analyze the specific titles and paths they navigate through. Item name, item category. These dimensions offer you insights into the products your customers are purchasing, allowing you to understand the specific names and categories of items being bought. And that is everything from my side. Now I will hand over the floor to Grant who will guide you through the initial steps of the setting up your GE4 journey.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that introduction, Ainoa. I think now everyone understands a little bit about dimensions and metrics. Now we get to see what it actually looks like directly in the Google Analytics interface. So I'm going to set up a demo account that you all will have access to, and you'll be able to try it out yourself. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a quick tour of the interface and show you a little bit about how to get around and what some of those most important reports are to help you to get going straight away within GA. So let's go. Okay, welcome to the Google Analytics account. I'm going to give you a quick tour around the interface and show you some of the more common features that you're more likely to use when you're getting started. So across the top, I can see what account I'm using. As you can see, I'm using the Google Merchandise Store. That's free data that's available for you to be able to try out and learn how to use Google Analytics before you have your account set up. We'll provide links for you to be able to download the demo as and when you need to. Across the top next to it, I've got a little search bar there, which actually allows me to start doing some pretty smart things and actually asking questions directly to Google Analytics and getting into information and results back in a really, really quick way. Across the center, I've got some of my common home cards where I can see how many users, how many events, how many conversions are going on, how many new users. We also have a really nice real-time view, so I can see what's currently going on live in the account and where which countries people are coming in from. Really, really powerful and really easy to see. It also starts giving me some recommendations of some of the interesting insights and reports that might be relevant for me as well. Down the left-hand side, I've got these 4 buttons, which are the main sort of collections of reports that are available for us. So we've got our main reporting view, and this is where you're going to spend most of your time analyzing and accessing some of your data, especially when you're just starting out. For those of you who want to sort of dive a little bit deeper and maybe want to dive into some of the detailed analysis of it, we've got these things called explorations, which give you really high-powered things to be able to dive in and to be able to visualize and understand your data in really good ways. All of the advertising related settings all sit within the advertising section. And then at the bottom, we have our administration section where we can see what sort of configurations and changes we want to make in order to be able to set up the account correctly. And I'll show you a little bit more about this as we go along. Just quickly, I'll show you, let's dive into some of the reports and I can show you some of the more common groups of reports that you're more likely to access. So currently the Google Merchandise Store is set up to be a retail store. And as you can see, down the left-hand side, it's given me some of the key reports that I'd like to try and use to be able to understand a bit more about a retail use case. So we can see acquisition, which is where the users are coming in from. Engagement, so what's going on the website, and even more detail about sort of like some of the events and conversions that are happening, even some of the screens. Within monetization, it helps me to understand about what things are working in order to generate revenue from the website. So example, things like purchases, etc. And then down here at the bottom, we also have some details about what types of technologies our users are using and other behaviors that are available for us as well. So really simple. Have a go, play around with some of those sort of standard interface reports. Okay, now that you know a little bit about Google Analytics and how to get around the interface, let's get you set up with your own property so you can start trying it out straight away with your app or with your website. So next section is we're going to show you how to create that property and show you some of the settings to help to make sure you're getting what you need out of the tool. So let's go. Pretty easy to do. I'm going to click over to here and choose create an account. And now it's going to ask me what details. Because I'm from the UK and I'm really interested in AI at the moment, I'm going to make an AI chatbot that is, I'm going to call UK Android. So let's go ahead and we're going to type that in. So we're going to put in UK Android as being the account name. Now below that, I can choose what other settings I'd like to fill in, what other opt-ins. Again, that's completely up to you what you want to go for. And I choose next. Great, now I'm going to go ahead and create a property. Now, a property is either a website or an app that I want to try and measure directly within Google Analytics. So I'm going to go ahead and put my property name, and I'm going to put in UK android.com. I'm going to select my country. I'm going to choose my time zone and also what currency, because obviously I'm going to be charging for this. Go ahead and push next. Now, it asks me to describe the business. Now, the reason that it does that is that Google Analytics will customize quite a lot of its settings specifically for your business. So if you can give it a little bit of more information, it's able to help you. The most common things to get right is to make sure that you're sending the right category. Now, my particular AI chatbot is going to be a store. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to choose a shopping site. And again, that's going to configure everything nicely for me in order to be able to be suitable for a online store. Okay, jumping over next, we're going to choose the size. I'm going to say small because again, it's something we're just starting out. And what it does is now it asks us to give us some details about what are the objectives behind this particular one. Now, I'm not going to be generating leads. I'm definitely going to be driving online sales. I'm going to be definitely raising brand awareness, and I'm interested in user behavior. So this will give me a custom set of reports that will help me to achieve these goals as well. If you're not sure which of the reports are the most suitable, then you can just select at the bottom to go for the baseline reports, and that will just give you a set of standard reports. But let's go ahead and just make sure we're using the ones that are the most relevant for our business. Jumping ahead, we're going to go ahead and create. It's going to ask me for some terms and conditions, which again, highly recommend you read through and see if it's suitable for you. Perfect. Now it's asking what sort of information am I going to be sharing with Google Analytics? And again, we've got the choice of web, Android app, and iOS app. At this stage, my startup is brand new, so I'm not going to have a chance to really spend much on an Android app or an iOS app yet, but that's hopefully going to change in the future. So I'm going to start by just selecting a web. Website streams are effectively the information that you need to be able to into Google Analytics in order to be able to help you to capture everything about your website that's going to be the most meaningful for you. So I'm putting in obviously something simple like a domain name. So I'll just put in ukandroid.com. This is going to be my website stream. And what I'm also going to be doing is adding an app, both an iOS and Android one later on. But for now, let's just go ahead and create a data stream for our website that we can connect into our website to copy the data across. What it also gives me is it gives me an option to do enhanced measurement. Now, what enhanced measurement is that these are the sort of more common features that people know would be normally measured within a website. Before GA4, you would actually have to use Google Tag Manager to kind of set these up for you. And it was quite a complex thing. Thanks to GA4, this has become a lot simpler. So we get almost immediately, just from enabling this little switch, we can see page views, how far people scroll on a page, if people click on any links to go out to different locations. If there's a search bar or a search element within our website, that will also be tracked for us. If we have any sort of video engagements or anything like that, or any file downloads, or even form interactions, all of those will automatically be measured for us. So we don't have to really configure it much more. If you wanted to, you still have the option to be able to turn this off and change these later on. But generally speaking, for the vast majority of sites, I say just go with the default and go ahead and start creating your stream. Perfect. So we're now set up and we've got this data ready to go. And what it does is it starts providing information about the different ways that I can integrate it directly into my website or into my platform. So the option it gives you by default is to install manually, and you can see it's giving you a tag. You can also use a technology called Google Tag Manager, which again allows you to be able to really customize your tracking and your measurement strategies that you want to use. I highly recommend that if you are just starting up, to sort of just go with the manual installs. A lot of the platforms that you're using may directly already support Google Analytics by default. So you don't really need to do much more. And again, if you look at the bottom, you can see some of the more popular platforms that are already supported. So if you have an e-commerce store, having a Shopify website, or WooCommerce, which is based on WordPress, these are pretty much supported. There's also support for Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy. You can see there's quite a lot, and hopefully this will be growing over time as well. I'm going to, for now, just install manually, which just involves me copying and pasting this into every single page on my website, um, just after the head element. And again, you don't need to add more than one tag to each page. If you aren't developing the website yourself, and you have a developer, then this is pretty straightforward. They can just copy and paste it. A lot of platforms will already support this, as I said before. Great. Once that's set up, we can see the information that we're using to send through. You don't actually need this anymore once you've set it up, but it's always good to be able to come back and be able to see this under your admin sections. There's a lot more advanced features about customizing this in a bit more detail, but we're not going to really go there just yet. And again, if you ever do need to get back to your tag instructions to understand how to install it, you can click that button again and it will open up and you can see what options you have again. All right, that's good to go. So with a bit of copying and pasting, we will have the data installed in our account and we're ready to go. For those of you who want to add in your iOS and your Android apps, you would add a new data stream for that, and each one would be its own data stream. So you can see there's one for iOS and there's one for Android. Great, and that's us. We're all set up to use Google Analytics right away to start diving into our own account. So let's wrap up and have a look at all the things we covered in the session today. We started off by talking about the purpose and capabilities of Google Analytics. We then dived into GA4's data model and understanding about how events work to help us to measure things. Next, we jumped into how to navigate around Google Analytics' user interface and see some of the more important features and reports to help us to analyze our data. And then last but not least, we jumped in and we looked at some of the standard reports so that you can get going right away. Now that you got your account set up and is ready to go, you can either use it for your website or your app and really dive into the data and start understanding how you can make Google Analytics work for you as well. So looking forward to seeing you all at a future session where we're going to dive even deeper into GA4 and find out some of the even more powerful things that really make it exciting and really help to kind of bring the spark and make game-changing things for us to improve and drive our whole businesses forward. So thank you, everybody. Good to chat to you and see you again soon.
Thank you, everyone, for your time and for being here with us today. Bye.